Welcome back to Chi Sports TV, where we bring you the real deal for real fans. So on today's show, we are bringing it to you from Drew 4 Chess Hall, located at Spintex Coastal Junction. Alright, so on today's show, we'll be discussing the UEFA Champions League, we'll also be discussing the Premier League, and then we'll delve into the Pogba Mourinho situation, all that drama that's happening at the club. So on today's show, we've also got a pundit whom I highly respect, and that's Fotwe Apple, because he's the one that made me start this football punditry career, and I owe a lot to him. So welcome, Fotwe.
How are you doing?
I'm very good. I'm very good. So, what were the highlights for you? What were some of the games that impressed you the most?
I think I'll go for the blockbuster of the Champions League, which was Napoli versus Liverpool. I think that game lived up to expectation, was end to end. Although Napoli dominated the game, Liverpool had patches in the game where they.
But it was a 1-0. It wasn't filled with a lot of goals, because when you compare it to the PSG Liverpool game, it was 3-2 end-to-end stuff. I think it was more exciting when you compare it to this Napoli game, or was it the stature of the game that?
Well, I think the two teams play similar styles, so they cancel each other out. So I mean, you have Napoli pressing with Alan, and you have Liverpool pressing with Henderson. Henderson with Keita actually. Keita was injured and had to replace by Henderson. So I think they cancelled themselves each other. That's why there were not enough chances for both teams. But it still lived up to expectation, because it was end to end. Alisson was at his best. At the same time, Ospina was made a couple of good saves here and there.
Do you think that Ancelotti has improved the squad, or the performance of Napoli has dropped since Sarri left?
Well, no, I think I think Ancelotti has rather kept to the philosophy of Sarri, but has just added a little more cutting edge to their game, because there's still that passing and brilliant and exciting football, but without Jorginho, because Jorginho, the fulcrum of the team, is not in, so there's a little difference. But on the whole, I think it's similar. I can't say it's the same as Sarri, but he hasn't thrown away Sarri's philosophy.
But looking at Spurs have lost their first two games
In the Champions League.
Do you think that they should have signed a player in the transfer window? Is this coming back to bite them in the back?
That's a very interesting question. I believe, you see, sometimes a team going into a new season, you need that refreshing. You need a new player that will bring, a new kind of style to the team and all that. So, but I don't Liverpool have enough quality. Spurs have enough quality. I mean, they shouldn't have lost, especially the first game. I mean, they were leading. They just sat back for that wonderful Icardi goal. But I think they still have the chance to turn around their Champions League season.
I think Spurs, they have a very good squad. If you look at their first 11, most of them are full internationals. A lot of them are at the World Cup.
Yes, that led semi-finals.
Yeah, most of them were there. So coming back into the season, a lot of them are jaded, fatigued, and I think that's affected their start to the season. Moreover, they didn't sign any new players. But one thing that has also helped them is signing Lucas Moura in January.
In January, he has been revelation this season. So Labella, coming back from injury, has really paid them.
So those are like new signings to them.
Yeah.
It's taken a while for a player like Harry Kane to get back into his groove, scoring a lot of goals.
I scored a very beautiful goal against Barcelona. You should give him the credit. I mean, Harry Kane doesn't get the credit or the plaudits like he deserves. People still doubt.
What do you think about the French teams? What are PSG's chances? They won 6-1 against Red Star Belgrade. What are their chances in the Champions League this season? We've got a new manager.
Well, since PSG broke into Europe, they have been knocking on the doors. I mean, they have gotten out of the group stages. But there's always that stumbling block when I don't know whether they lack experience or that quality.
Is it the manager?
Well,
Because they've gone through Laurent Blanc, they've
gone through United and Emery, and they always seem to come stuck at the quarterfinal
stage.
I think it's lack of experience. I mean, they've never won the Champions League before, so maybe there's that lack of experience in the Champions League. But this season, you ask if this season they might go all the way. I disagree and I doubt. I don't think they will go.
Who is your pick
for this season?
Champions League, yeah.
It's a strange one, you know. If it was 2 seasons ago, you say Real Madrid, but now I'll go for Juventus because of Cristiano Ronaldo.
So, from what you're saying, means that Cristiano Ronaldo is that missing element.
Yes. Juventus have been brilliant in the past 2 or 3 years in the Champions League. 2 finals in 3 years. That was incredible. So I think they were just lacking that one element, and I think the sign of Ronaldo is the final piece of the jigsaw. So we'll see. I believe they may be winning it.
But do you think they have a good enough squad to
yes, they have. They have. I mean, at the back they have Szczesny, they have Chiellini, Ronaldo Bonucci, the experience, Sandro. They have Emre Can, Pjanic, Mandzukic, a big game player by all standards. You know, so they have what it takes. They have what it takes. I think it's about time.
And then for a number of years now, they've developed that winning mentality because they've been winning the Serie A. Mandzukic, for instance, in the World Cup final, he scored an own goal and came back and scored for Croatia. He's got that winners mentality.
Yes. And always scores classic, very beautiful.
Remember he scored that overhead kick.
Yes, the Champions League final. Yes, and it's a big game player. Every big game comes to the fore. So I think this is the time. That's what I think.
For me, as controversial as it sounds, I think PSG have a chance of winning the Champions League because of one player, Neymar. Yes, there's a lot of talk about Mbappe and all that, and even some of his experts at the World are very impressive. And he needs to kick some immaturity out of his game to be able to do that. And the game I saw against Liverpool, I saw a more mature Neymar. He wasn't really doing all those unnecessary things like the flicks, the tricks and all that. But then even with their second goal, the one that Mbappe scored, I think he missed the opportunity a bit, but he made it off slightly to Mbappe for him to score. Neymar was a bit more mature in that game. And for me, I think that moving on from the Cristiano Ronaldo, Messi dominance of the best player,
you think
Neymar is going to step up. Neymar and another player too is Hazard. If you compare these two players, who would you rather have in your team?
Who would you rather have in your team?
Neymar or Hazard?
That's a very interesting question. Who would you rather have in your team?
Pick one.
I get to pick one. I have no other choice. I think I'll pick Hazard. Hazard for me has matured. I mean, his experience in the World Cup he was a fantastic player. He takes the bull by its horns. I mean, if the team is not doing well, he will take the ball, run from defense to attack, lace his trickery. You know, he's a very good dribbler, keeps the ball very well, has a very good low sense of gravity. So the ball sticks with his feet. But Neymar, that said, Neymar is a very fantastic player, but just that he does a little too much. You know, he does a little too much.
What would it take for him to be up there, to be talked about in the same regard as Ronaldo and Messi?
I think he should get serious. As blunt as that, he should get serious. Neymar is a fantastic player, but I think he should just get serious because there are some things that he overdoes certain things. I mean, there's this ball, the final ball, just lay the ball, and Neymar wants to just dribble and come back. I mean, it's unnecessary. He should just get serious. He's a fantastic footballer by all standards. But I just think he should get serious.
And I also think that if he's going to be the best player, he has to be it now. Because
he's on the side. Exactly.
He's running out of time.
Exactly.
He should have done it a lot. Because Messi was breaking records right from 19. So you can imagine.
Ronaldo was breaking records right at age 22. When did he win? In 23, I believe. When he won 2008, when he won the best player. And I mean, and we are 26 and we are still not sure. We are still questioning.
But the same can be said for Hazard because it's just from the World Cup going into this season that people have started talking a lot about him. He's impressing a lot.
The problem,
for instance,
yes,
impressing.
the problem with Hazard was inconsistency. This season he will do well. The next season, if there's a problem at the club, then you dip in form. I mean, I think last season he scored about 2 goals the whole season, which is
No, that was
so.
that
Or there was a season where he scored.
That was the Mourinho season.
I mean, that is not good enough.
Yeah.
That is not good enough for a player like Hazard. So the inconsistency, when there's a little problem in a club, it seems to affect him so much. So he just has to. But I think now he has matured. He's grown 27, so he has experienced all the ups and downs. So I mean, he will now step up. And we have seen it just the beginning of the season. It's a fantastic performance all over. Yeah. So I believe it has us.
Talking about one of Hazard's former managers, Jose Mourinho, his team drew with Valencia. So far, that is the good point. They beat them. So they drew with Valencia, an uninspiring game, to be honest.
Very uninspiring, very dull, they don't pass the ball quickly, do they? I don't know what's wrong with it. I feel.
What's going on in the team?
I personally feel what's going on in the team.
What's going on behind the scenes?
It's all wrong. There's no inspiration whatsoever. The captain, Mourinho, has been in the papers for wrong reasons.
What does it do to a player's morale when you name him vice captain?
Then you drop him? I mean, that would definitely
strip him off the captaincy.
That would definitely be a dent on his confidence. I mean, it means he's not good enough, or what has he done?
Is there something going on behind the scenes that
we don't know?
Because when the video came out at the training pitch, you saw that it looked like he was trying to provoke the guy because he just came into training
and he was shaking. He was happy. He was shaking people's hands, and then all of a sudden, when Mourinho uttered a word, and that seemed to, I don't know, when he started.
But if it were another manager like Sir Alex, do you think Pogba would have reacted in the same way? Because the way he looked at him, it was like,
yes,
on the same level.
On the same level. There was an interview with Romelu Lukaku, and he said that Mourinho is a very friendly coach. He laughs with them, he laughs with their family. So I believe, possibly, maybe Mourinho did it too much. Like we said, familiarity beats contempt. So I mean, maybe he was too friendly with them. That's why Mourinho was able. That's why Pogba was able to react the way he did. But I mean that's a no-no for me.
So
Pogba was unprofessional. That behavior was terrible.
If the fans, Man United fans, have a choice to kick one of them out of the club, who do you think they will kick out?
Who do I? In recent matches, even if Mourinho is losing, they hail him. So from what I see and from the conversations I've had with Man United fans, I believe they would like Mourinho to stay. Out of the club.
But does he deserve to stay? Does Mourinho deserve to stay based on the recent performances of the club? Mind you, Mourinho has criticized the board. He's criticized his bosses in this season because he didn't get the players that he wanted.
Okay.
Aside that, he's playing players out of position.
McTominay,
playing as centre back. I feel if you have a player like someone on the bench and you're playing McTominay or Everybody who Man United fans consider world best or world class. He's on the bench and then you prefer to put
midfielder, a very young midfielder.
Is he trying to make a statement?
Yes. He's making a statement that since you didn't get me the players I want, I have to make use of what I have.
Is Mourinho the right fit for the club?
Yes. United haven't won the Premier League in the past 4 years. Mourinho has won the Premier League twice. Once. Yes, in that span. So,
do you think they can win it this season?
No, definitely not.
We'd like to take a break. When we come back, we'll be discussing the Premier League games, the Premier League standings, and the players that have impressed so far. Stay tuned.